Yeah, so don't know if do I invite you?
I will try and join you through Steam.
Invite to group. There's no invite to game really. It's weird. What?
No.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to talk about zombie games whilst playing Killing Floor 2, and all
Well,
the
you are. I'm
games
going to
that.
stare at the fucking
Yeah,
menu.
Dan's going to stare at the menu. I'm going to stare at the menu. We're all going to stare at the menu. But yeah, we're going to talk about. There's a lot of zombie games, 7 actually. Well, 6 and 1 the end of this year, coming out next year. So we're going to talk about a little bit about those. So yeah, first one on the menu is Dead Rising 4. Dan, take it away.
What?
Are you joining? First of all,
Dead Rising 4 is a sequel to Dead
That's it.
Rising 3.
So you know.
In which... What? Sorry?
That's all the information, just as a sequel.
Oh, that's it, is it?
It's set around Christmas. The game probably won't come out around Christmas because they like to delay stuff a lot. So the theme won't match by the time the game comes out.
Sing the theme tune, be the theme tune. So,
Oh,
what's going on? I've invited you. I think I'm the only one in there.
searching server. What? I'm not searching server. Oh, there we are. Right, invite. Quick to
Right.
join. Chris Beasley is not currently playing on any server. Fantastic.
Oh, prison, apparently. I've gone over to prison now. Yeah. Dead Rising 4. Bit annoyed because at first when they announced it, they did fucking say it was going to be cross-platform with PC and Xbox, like they did with other games. But for some reason, last minute, they just stopped that bullshit and they literally are now only releasing it for the Xbox until further notice. I think there's like a 90-day wait or something.
Yeah, they probably will release it for PC. It's just they do the same thing they do with every other sort of developer and their game, is they delay the PC version because fuck PC.
Because fuck PC. So yeah, I don't know. It literally almost seemed like a week ago they just decided to start doing that. Like,
Yeah.
because for reasons.
So what? This was a week ago they decided that.
Well, yeah, like, well, saying that, it's probably a couple of days ago. They literally like, yeah, we're gonna. I think there was even mention of like Steam. It's gonna come on Steam in about 90 days.
What, after console release? That
Yeah.
is, or-
Here's the thing: it's supposed to come to the Windows Store and Xbox Store simultaneously.
Oh yeah.
But
Cross-platform.
yeah,
right?
cross-platform. But they basically, for some reason, because I was checking the Windows Store, like, because I was originally going to buy it on the PC, and then
Yeah.
on the Windows Store they literally fucking just, it's not even there. You type it in and it's literally, you've got nothing there.
Brilliant.
So yeah, they fucking, for some reason, maybe it's not optimizing well or something. It's not ready, I'm guessing, for the PC.
In the long and short, yeah, that's probably more the case.
Oh wow, I get so overwhelmed so quickly right now.
Yup.
But yeah, it
Oh,
does
I
look
found a
good. It
collectible
looks,
by accident.
the game definitely looks fucking better than the third one. Like, in my eyes, I think the third one was definitely like well, first of all, there were so many zombies, yet they just didn't do anything. You just was able to run past them and stuff. And I just think, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I don't know. What do you think about Dead Rising 3 then? As a game,
I don't know. I really enjoyed Dead Rising 3. Like a lot more than 2.
Yeah.
Like just because it was a little bit more open world. Like Dead Rising 2 for me was just it was just the same as the original Dead Rising. Like it was just in more. Like I don't know if that's what they were going for at first, and then decided for Dead Rising 3 to switch it up. But I mean, I preferred. Like I say, I preferred Dead Rising 3 for, I mean, pretty much for that reason. Like, it felt like a bit more of an expanded world. Like, open, in terms of open world, sort of adventure games. I don't know. I preferred Dead Rising 3. It sort of changed up
Yeah,
I
definitely.
suppose the monotony of what the first two Dead Risings were.
Did you in
Like,
the
they got a little bit more bold with it.
you did Rising 3? Did you have to were you infected and you need to find the cure? I can't remember what exactly went down with that now.
Mm, yeah, maybe.
Because like
That was definitely Dead Rising 1. Dead Rising 2, you were getting Zombrex for your...
daughter, and the third
yeah.
one was I'm not too sure. I swear, like you found out. Did you find out you're immune or something? I was so it's been a while since I played it, but
Yeah, I swear there was something to do with that. I think in Dead Rising 3 you weren't. I think I didn't buy a single thing in that store. I was too busy trying to think about what the hell the plot was for the third game.
yeah.
So there I am saying it's really good, and I can't remember a damn thing that really happens in the game at all. All I remember is running around the city streets a lot, thinking, okay, finally this is like a little bit more interesting.
We
than
didn't
running
really
around.
play the co-op either, did we? Because I remember I got it and then we.
Well, we did, but like the DLC maps, if I remember, are only single player.
Yeah.
Like the DLC, yeah, like where you got to play as an army guy, I think a biker chick as well.
Yeah, I think it was
there
a
might have been
rebel.
a character that I've
woman?
completely... Yeah, it was a rebel woman, an army guy, or a special forces soldier fella. And there was one other character, and I just can't remember.
Soldier. Oh my god! Took that to the chest.
Jesus Christ, leave me alone.
But yeah.
But yeah, so you couldn't play those. You could only play the main campaign, I guess.
Yeah, co-op.
Yeah, in cooperative, and first it's, I don't know. The DLC stories were far more interesting. Like,
Yeah, I just thought the main story was like, it was good. I think the biggest gripe for me was that the zombies like just did not feel like a threat at all. They were just there. They were just literally just background material, and you just sort of ran past them all the time, didn't you? Even though there was so many on the screen, I think they've actually corrected that in this new one. They did say that the game is faster paced. Like they want to make a more faster experience. Like everything feels a bit more like, you know, you actually like the zombies are definitely more. What's the word? Like ferocious.
yeah, yeah.
They're a lot more, as you can see, like the normal hordes. And you've actually got 3 types now. You've got so they've added 2 new types of zombie to the game, which was so you got the horde, which has always been in the games.
What's that, like the traditional sort of slow moving zombies?
Yeah, which a lot the way they look now is a lot fucking like sort of Walking Dead. Like they've got proper decay to them and stuff, and they look a lot better. They put some effort into the way they look.
Right.
And then you've got like the fresh the fresh, which they call it, where you basically these are people that have been infected, and then sort of like, 28 days later, fast moving zombie. And what's really awesome is like I haven't seen this since probably the Red Dead Undead Nightmare DLC, is where like survivors in the world, which you can help out, and which you've always done in the Dead Rising series.
Yeah.
I said Dead Island there. But yeah, you
did that in Dead Island as well, but it was a lot more boring.
So like that's one of my like main problems with a lot of zombie games, is that you don't like when people get attacked and stuff, they'd rather just die and get eaten or what. But like Undead Nightmare, as I was fucking getting around to it, people actually like they come back as a zombie. So that was fucking long-winded just to say that, wasn't it? Literally like dragged that out for an hour. So yeah, it's cool in
the
real
overall
time.
takeaway from that is what, that survivors can now turn into fresh zombies effectively,
and run at you and
some
stuff
sort of like
in
mini
real
boss characters.
They've also added 4-player co-op now as well, instead of just 2-player. So it'd be interesting. They've not really mentioned. Yeah, they've not actually really they've only mentioned it's 4-player co-op now, so you can have 4 of you. But they haven't really they haven't shown anything actually on the co-op side so far. Then the third type is Evo, which is like a fast-moving sort of like volatile from dying light sort of creature, which is apparently quite intelligent, and they also can scream high-pitched and attract zombies to your location, which I do love. That type of sort of wow, can't hit for what is wrong with me? I couldn't hit for shit though.
All good.
So yeah, I saw some footage. I came out a couple of days ago actually of the Evo for the first time, and it's sort of yeah, they do this little scream and it sort of stuns you, and they also attract like hordes to you. So it's all cool stuff, and then you got your human enemies, which you've got maniacs now instead of the psychos. Was it called psychopaths before? Yeah.
Yeah,
which are
basically
like mini
human
bosses.
in the previous games were all called psychos, and they were like human enemies, but like massively tough to kill. Like
fucking
they were
love the
basically
one.
the bosses of the game.
Yeah, like, and they were fucking hilarious as well. Like from the third game, Dead Rising 3, like my favourite is that fucking woman in the chair. She's like, ah, comes at you like in the fucking wheelchair with the food. Do you remember?
Wheelchair.
She like killed some dudes, like rams you and stuff. It's like in the supermarket, goes down the aisles and stuff.
Was that in the third game? I thought that was the first one.
There's also something similar in the first one, but this one's on a fucking motorised scooter and she came at you.
Oh no, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah,
I
she's
remember.
like-
I
she's
remember.
like proper,
Yeah.
Fucking get off my food.
Yeah, she's like, stop eating all my food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So yeah, but they've actually got rid of those now, and they've actually replaced them with something called maniacs, which have like the same sort of they're sort of around the world that you can have optionally take them on, and they also have little minions with them as well. So so they are pretty much still there, but they've called them maniacs now instead of psychopaths.
Right. Okay.
And then you've got like the sort of bandits of the world, which are also just looting them all and stuff, and generally being dicks. And they to distinguish them from like survivors.
Sort of gone ahead and sort of spliced parts of 3 and 2 together, because 2 was definitely more orientated with bandits going around. I remember in the malls and stuff like that, there was bandit like sort of characters, like just AI enemies, just like sort of just randomly looting shops and stuff like that, and you had to like, well, you could take them on.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I haven't really mentioned it.
There.
Forgot to mention that the location is from the first game. You actually do go back to the first.
Oh, you go back to Willamette?
You go to Willamette, and they've actually, it's sort of like a new mall now, because like, obviously the last one got fucking exploded. So you go to Willamette, and you go to the towns and stuff as well on the surrounding area. So it's not just the mall, but like the mall itself has been like basically brand new, sort of refurbished, and has its own little sections and stuff, like pirate area and like jungle area. Like apparently in America now the super malls sort of have these sections where they have like themed areas. So they sort of had that in the game now, to kind of mix it up, I guess, and each area has its own sort of like thing to it. I think they're aiming for more of a fun side. There's like, because you can like race around little go-karts and stuff together.
Yeah, well, Dead Rising was always about the camp.
Yeah.
Story, like it was always very campy.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like I think that was probably one of the issues. I think with the third game, in particular, is it was campy, but it was way serious.
Yeah, that's what I think someone mentioned that recently, actually.
Oh, really?
But, it was too serious, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. I think that's where the third one failed, and the second one even. The second one was just boring.
So boring. Like I think you're like me, and actually we had more fun on the Case Zero DLC that came out before the game of the second
Yes,
one.
yeah.
Because it was like, I know it's something new, wasn't it? It was just everything about it just seemed to work. It was just such a nice little demo, and then when you got the main game, you were like, oh, there was such good hype from that sort of demo DLC that.
Well,
when
yeah,
it
it's
come
because
out,
it
it's
sort
just
of
like,
had like
oh,
the
wow.
open world element to it, because you were in a like dusty kind of desert town, and it was like, oh, cool. So there might be like, you know, sort of exterior parts, and then by the time you get the second game, it's all just inside a mall again, and it's like I've through this territory.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing new.
No.
God
and
knows why
Dead
they
Rising...
fucking did Frank West as well. Like they released a fucking Frank West with the same game basically, but just Frank West.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
just
like a good
replace
thing to do.
Frank West with some character who's looking after his daughter, and
yeah, it's just like, what the fuck did I just buy? Oh.
I don't know.
No one knows.
No.
Oh, I got an M14 with a fucking scope. So yeah, we got so the new one does look easily the best. Like, I just think they've mixed it up a lot more and there's a lot more going for it now. But with
Dead Rising 4,
yeah. Like, okay, a lot of people have moaned about the way Frank West looks now. Sort of, they changed the voice actor and they've sort of changed a lot with it, but I don't know, it doesn't really bother me that much. What do you think?
Well, no, like look-wise, I'm not really too concerned with the character. Like, what I don't want though is for him to turn into every other protagonist in like every other video game. Because like, you know,
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like they're very sort of like I don't know, American hero, like you know, just really run-of-the-mill, boring protagonists who are just always really moody.
You can actually check out the first 30 something minutes of the game, and actually, like, it does look quite funny. Like, he reminds me a lot like sort of Ash from Evil Dead now. Like, you see like this footage of him and this girl in the car, and they're like sort of, she promised to take him to fucking golf or some shit, and then he's like, he just like gets tricked in basically checking out Willamette, see if you can find any new dirt on Willamette and stuff, because they're still like reporters at heart and that, and he's like, oh no, turn the car around.
Yeah, because wasn't he like, isn't he a teacher now or something?
Yeah, like
bizarre.
Yeah, and it's got
like
a very
professor.
sort of like Jurassic Park to me sort of feel, like sort of going back to the island sort of fucking thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, that's on Dead Rising 4. But we've got so many more games to go through. that's
so many more games to ramble and talk shit through.
Yeah. So that was that's coming out the 6th of December. Fucking hell, I'm getting done.
Okay, like so that one's gonna be like real soon then.
Yeah. So that's like the soonest.
Sorry. Soonest. Sort of soonest.
And the rest will be coming out next year, supposedly. They've all been given a sort of 2017 date at the moment. Dead Island 2 then. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah, Dead Island 2. I can't remember the last time I heard about that.
No, it's sort of gone.
Or saw anything of that game.
Yeah, so it was first.
I swear, last time they were like, oh yeah, we're pretty much like, you know, like what you see is about 70% of the game or whatever, and they were showing it off in this huge sort of demo, sort of town and stuff like that, and then there's just been nothing at all.
Yeah, so what's happened is they first shown the trailer in 2014, surprisingly.
Was it really that long ago?
They showed the fucking gameplay trailer in 2014.
Oh fuck!
Like August as well, so it was like fucking hell. It wasn't even like the end of the year sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
basically,
actually.
what happened was what are they called? Fucking the German developer who made
That German developer.
Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh, what are they called? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no, I can't think either now.
Hang on a minute, it'll come to me. Jaeger.
Yeah, that's it. Jaeger Interactive. Basically, they were making the game, and then apparently Deep Silver basically didn't like. They ended up. Apparently their outlook for the game didn't align, so they sort of basically sacked them, Deep Silver, because they expected something major. I don't know what they were going for, because like obviously, because it started off apparently in development, it started off very serious, and they said it was like very Walking Dead, sort of like emotional, people dying and like kids, like some little girl turning or something in a sort of FMV, and then like they found. So basically, they made it very serious, but then they found like one of the players at the time basically ran in and just fucking like drop kicked fucking zombie or something, and everyone just started laughing. So it completely broke the immersion of like proper serious, like oh god, tragic like virus apocalypse. Like so they were like, okay, that's the sort of game we need to make.
So basically, what we can do is we can blame that one player who just dropped into like pushing the game into basically sort of like, as you said, development hell.
Yeah, well, like, this is the thing. Deep Silver obviously agreed with that, and they were like, yeah, we agree with the, you know, make it a little bit more comical, not so serious, a bit more like Dead Rising, really, like being first person.
Because if there's anything we need is comically hilarious, supposed to be
yeah,
like
because there isn't enough of those, is there? Like, this is surprisingly like there actually isn't that many serious zombie games. Like there's more games out there like that take the piss out of it than actually fucking, you know, being.
Well, I
like
think it's hard to make a serious zombie game because a lot of them are so hammy. When you think of like zombie games, I mean, like primarily it's like Resident Evil to me. Like, you know, the classic ones and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of went there and did that like a very long time ago, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, so you know, and even then, those stories were very sort of campy and ridiculous.
But they were
as
sort
far
of
as
like
Resident
B-movie,
Evil goes,
like 80s campiness, which, like, it's sort of. There were moments of like pure like holy shit, this is quite mental. Till like so actually mixing it up, like the whole tone wasn't like straight up, you know, jokes, was it? With Resident Evil, like even though you was almost a Jill sandwich back there, like even though you had that and it's funny as fuck, you had those moments. Like you can have, this is what I mean. You can have elements of comedy and elements of like, you know, that sort of campiness. But like when you turn the whole game to sort of like
when you make when you try and make the game more serious, it turns into like something even more ridiculous.
That's what I mean. It's, you have to find that right balance, don't you? Of like basically.
Yeah, and that's where like games like, you know, Dead Rising and Dead Rising 3 and 2 specifically or respectively. That's where they completely failed.
Yeah.
Because they were always this serious story, but they always they had those psycho characters who were just ridiculously hilarious, and it's like you're trying to mash two genres together, and while that works for the most part in films, it doesn't transfer so well in video games, especially in games where you're like hitting people with like giant sort of dildo shaped bats and swords and stuff like that or whatever, and it's because you got two genres or elements working against each other, and that's why it sort of just turns into this sort of really stupid camp.
Yeah, like I get what you're saying. You don't want to be too serious, but then you also don't want it to be like
because you don't want to sort of exit a game with like PTSD.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I do agree with you. Like, for me, like, I think if you get the tone right, and you just, for example, like The Last of Us, which in my eyes is still the best story for a zombie game to date, and it has moments of comedy and moments of like heart-touching moments, but the tone is very serious. But that's what the blend is, so human and so real that when you have those sort of jokey moments, they actually are genuinely funny. And
yeah, I mean, it can be a nice, like, sort of like icebreaker from I guess the just the overtly seriousness of the game going on. Like, it's nice to.
Don't know about you as well, but if you get like a game that's so serious or so comedic, it just gets boring.
Well, certainly, like so comedic. I mean, a straight comedy game, quite honestly, they rarely work. I mean, the last comedy game that I played, and this is going back a little bit, that was bloody terrible. Postal 3. That
Postal 3. Yeah, I never actually played that one.
Don't, for Christ's sakes, don't.
For Christ's sakes.
It is horrendous. It's no, just don't. Just don't.
Getting back to Dead Island 2. So this one did promise 8-player co-op, which is rarely done ever.
8-player. That's so they.
Yeah, 8 players.
Is that gonna? That's surely gonna take all the challenge out of it. Because, like, I mean, even 4 players felt like, man.
Oh god, I'm alone, and with a lot of them, I don't know where everyone is. I think I've been welded into something.
We're outside in a
courtyard. They only ever showed off 4 of those characters. See, this is what the thing, right? Dead Island 2 wants to be like an MMO sort of open world sort of. Even Jaeger at the time said that basically the missions would last forever, and so like there isn't a beginning, middle, or an end. It's just you drop into this world, and the world sort of gives you quests, gives you things to do, and it constantly that one of the most interesting aspects was that in itself, like the sound of that just sounds really fucking cool. But it's about making those things interesting, isn't it, really?
Right, so it's what's the word for it? Procedurally generated missions, like stuff like that. So is that what they're going for?
So I heard when it first was announced, I heard stuff like this, like sort of like they described it as sort of like a football commentator in a world.
What?
And yeah, so basically you'd have, so say there would be like a quest, and everyone would be going around doing their own thing, you know, collecting stuff, whatever. And then someone would pop up on the radio and be like, "Oh, our base needs defending. Come and save us," basically. Now, if everyone ignores that quest and they get overwhelmed, now the zombies occupy the base, and you basically can't go to the shop. You can't buy new weapons. You can't do that. You basically
so you gotta
have
clear
to.
it out.
Yes, you basically got to go clear it out. And then.
Wow, that's going to be a pain in the arse.
So that's what I mean. Or like, say if the players did go out and help them, then they'd get like a new weapon or something for doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So or then there was like someone who'd be like, "Oh, I need like a radio piece." You go get it. So you get that, then go back, and then they're like, "Oh, actually, we need some drinks for our party." So you'd go out get that, come back, sort of. So basically, the quest like moves around depending on like, you know, what happens really. In the meantime, they could get fucked over. You know, there was also, which sounded really fucking awesome as well. Actually, there was talks of so basically, shops in the world, you could actually rob them, but by doing so, you get a bounty on your head. So other players could basically chase you down, sort of like GTA, basically, and they'd get a reward for basically hunting you down for robbing the shop.
How much do you want to bet it's the Patreon?
Oh wow!
Oh no!
Not.
What have we here? No subjects to tinker with. I hope you like pain.
No subjects to tinker with. So yeah,
right, this guy is actually mental, by the way. So
actually mental. Well, somebody says, "Oh, no subjects to tinker with." Oh wow, you're not joking. Oh fuck! He literally just ran in there. And was like,
Where the fuck is he? Oh, yeah. No, you don't. You want to keep your distance from this guy.
"Oh, no subjects to tinker with."
Give me ammo.
So yeah, so all that was going on with Jaeger, but since then, obviously Deep Silver didn't fucking agree with what they were doing or whatever. So they moved from that to gave it to Sumo Digital, who are the makers of fucking Little Big Planet.
Really? That's a bit of a bizarre one to,
and then
to roll
they're
with.
at the moment Sumo Digital are also making
Ooh!
Crackdown 3. So they've got a roster of games in development. So since they've been handed it, they haven't shown a single thing. Basically the last thing you heard about was they literally was like, yeah, we're now working with Sumo Games. They're making the game. So.
But the game is back on track now for a 2017 release.
Yeah, it's rumoured to be Halloween 2017. Maybe we'll see something on PlayStation Experience on December 3rd. Because they are actually on the list of developers that are going to be there. And I don't think... Well, Crackdown 3 is an Xbox One exclusive, so... And when they did originally announce, Deep Silver originally announced the E3 Dead Island 2, they literally did say something about PS4 exclusive content first. So there is a high possibility it might be literally announced.
Oh yeah, no, but that's when Deep Silver were in control of it though, right? Which they're not anymore. So
no, Deep Silver is still in control.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're still the publisher and stuff. Because Deep Silver.
Oh, so what? They booted Jaeger out.
Yeah,
then?
it's Deep Silver's property. The Dead Island series is actually Deep Silver's property.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. So the publisher got rid of the dead. Now.
Yeah, and then they handed it over to Sumo Digital.
So basically, they've had to rebuild the game probably from scrap, and that's why
what people are saying. Yeah, people are saying that they've basically had to fucking do it from scratch. I mean. So it'd be interesting to see what they've kept, if they've not kept anything, or what's going on.
Honestly, man, they've probably completely redesigned the game.
Yeah, that could be a good thing though, or it could be a bad thing, depends.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad
so
terms of development, but I mean, we're probably very unlikely to see anything past a CG trailer for Dead Island 2 again. I mean, even in December, I think that's extremely hopeful, like at very best.
Yeah. Like the only reason why I mention is because Sumo Digital is on the cards for next month.
Yeah, they might mention that they're working on Dead Island 2. But I mean, if it's not in any sort of showable form at this point, they might just stay tight-lipped and they might
just show a trailer or something.
Mate, if even that, they might just off the cuff, just sort of say, "Oh yeah, we're doing Dead Island 2 as well."
Yeah.
And then not mention any more of it from that point, you know. Like that's if they even want to do that.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
And then we got right onto our next game. Fucking hell, we've gone through 2 so far.
Good. 5 hours later,
yeah,
we might get
10 hours
third.
Later. Oh fuck, I died.
Oh wow.
So yeah, this is like both of our. This has got to be both our most anticipated, easily. State of Decay 2.
Yeah, I
like.
Looking forward to that one.
It's just like.
If it comes to 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it! I blew him away!
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, State of Decay 2. Fucking so good, the first game. In my eyes, probably the best zombie game out there. Because it does so much good stuff, doesn't it? You know, name some of the few downloads. Yeah, it's very descriptive. just good stuff, Dan. Just
Yeah,
very
it's
good
just it
stuff.
just stuff. It just does stuff really
Just
well.
stuff.
You know.
Just stuff that it does gooded.
Yeah.
Very
Just dead good.
good.
So
Yeah. What do you like about State of Decay, Dan? Your thoughts?
well, hopefully for a start, it carries on where the first one left off, or at least the end of the DLC for the first game.
I have not seen that, so
Okay.
the army one.
Yeah, well, either
Still.
way, I hope it carries on from there.
So-
Because basically you sort of are stood in, like, without, going into any spoiler territory at all here. It finishes with you overlooking a city, and then the characters are like, well, I guess we better
But then the
get
main
moving.
story sort of did the same thing. Like the woman blew the hole through the wall, and then she looked down and was like, "Oh, okay, the rest of the world's fucked as well." So we're pretty much guaranteed that State of Decay 2 is going to be fully open world. The world's fucked now instead of just areas.
Yeah, I just hope it's not like running around frickin' countrysides again.
Yeah. I'm
Like-
hoping it's going from
Not-
the
it's
trailer and the
not meant to be
gameplay.
bad,
They have shown
like-
a lot of woods and forests and towns, sort of the same, really, haven't they? Shown so far.
Pretty much,
I'm
yeah. And
picturing
that's,
bigger cities and bigger fucking hordes this time. Like that's just name some of the amazing things about the zombie genre right. Roaming hordes that you have to clear out, and if you don't, they'll take over.
yeah,
buildings.
that was
That's
really cool.
So
I
fucking
love
cool.
that about the original.
Yeah, so I'm hoping. Well, you're obviously going to see bigger fucking hordes. I'm guessing the hordes are going to get so much bigger now. I reckon. Imagine seeing hundreds now instead of 20, literally roaming and then attacking your base.
Yeah, but I don't know. I suppose you really need to have your A game with you though, because
Yeah.
I mean, State of Decay, generally speaking, is a very unforgiving game.
Yeah. Well, that's where this is what I mean. You have bigger hordes, but this is where the co-op side comes in because it's now 4-player co-op instead of a single-player game. So they can make bigger hordes. They can make the game harder, more challenging now. Have more wackier creatures. I'm guessing they're going to add a few ones that they've probably not shown.
Yeah, no, I just don't want them to sort of, you're an hour into the game and then suddenly they throw a curveball straight at you.
Fucking-
You've got 2 survivors, you've just started building your base or whatever, you've just fight with kind of thing. It's like, yes, I can eat a can of beans or stab a zombie in it, and then they just throw a 100 fucking strong roaming horde at your base, and then
this is why this is another
again.
thing that games don't really touch upon is that you should feel vulnerable when you go out your base. When you walk out of your base, you should have that feeling of fucking hell, going, this is mental. In the in apocalypse, you should.
Yeah,
as soon
there
as
should
you
actually
leave
be
safety.
Yeah.
You should be fuck, they're everywhere, and it should be overwhelming. It should be they've claimed the world, and we're a fucking little tiny hut we live in society.
Yeah, because a lot of games again kind of they don't fail, but the scale of what is at stake is never. You don't really ever feel like the situation is so dire. This is a cool looking.
Yeah,
map.
I've never seen this. I thought he's stuck in the ground. He's actually coming out of a hole.
Oh no, that's not me. That's not me.
Oh, I'm not a doctor.
Was this Mad Doom?
I'm just
3?
literally caning them as they come out of the hole and just piling up. So yeah, that. I mean, that's one of the good things about State of Decay. The first one was just you felt overwhelmed and you felt vulnerable, and the zombies did feel hard, and like you said, the world was very unforgiving, especially in the DLC. The DLC was literally
DLC was bastard
fucking
hard.
the army one is just so every time you went to go save someone, they'd just show up, and it would. I mean, pull that contrast between the main game, which is an open world sort of farmland to the city.
Yeah.
It just shows the
See,
cities
the thing
are
is
mental.
though, I found that bloody annoying with the DLC. Like,
What?
really annoying.
Well, you got overwhelmed so quickly.
Yeah, there's
But I
like, oh,
think
you've got to go
that's-
do the story mission, you've only got so long, but like, you'd go out and do it, and just because you're far enough away from the base, a horde would just spawn, and then you'd have to go back and
Yeah.
defend. And that was just, it was time consuming, and it was really tedious.
Well, that's where the
and
second game needs to step in and sort of like build defenses and build better AI. Like, I mean, it's on the Unreal 4 engine now, and like, so it's completely ditched the fucking piece of shit. What's the engine? The fucking Crytek engine, which was I really hate the Crytek engine because it's so shit and broken. Like, people
Was
say
the
it's-
original on the Crytek engine?
Yeah, it was on the Crytek engine. Which
No way.
yeah, and that's why it's sort of. Which I just reckon that's one of the reasons why it's so glitchy. It's not even on an Unreal engine. Like, the Unreal engine is so stable, and just with this Unreal 4 engine, like, you can make games look stunning and just like run so much more detail and just run more items in the world. Like, in fact, most games on this list are on the Unreal 4 engine. Dead Island 2, State of Decay 2, Days Gone. It's all on the
Dead Island 2 may be
Unreal
on the...
They're all on the
the
Unreal 4 engine.
No, it may be. If it's changed developer, so...
What's that? Oh yeah,
Well,
I see what you're saying. It started out
so,
on Dead Island.
yeah,
Unreal.
we haven't seen anything of the new version of Dead Island 2, so it might be jumping the shark to say that that's on Unreal 4.
So basically, on State Decay 2, they've pretty much said they're not going to really talk about anything till next year about it. They have mentioned a few things like the co-op. So with the co-op, apparently you will have your own bases. So there'll be 4 of you on a map with your own communities and own bases, which sounds really fucking
but
awesome.
that'd be pretty
Actually,
cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Because then you don't have to worry about locking down like just one area of the map all the time, and then
yeah,
trying to
like,
push out to expand. Like, you can just rely on your mates to sort of cover that area for you.
yeah, exactly. Like, again with the AI, and like the engine is known to have very good fucking AI and have a lot going on. Like, I don't know why it's very optimized. Like, you can have thousands of stuff on screen at once, and it runs very
That's
fucking
something I
good.
always liked about State of Decay as well, is the AI weren't completely retarded.
Yeah, they did actually
Like,
defend
they
and
actually
snipe
were
and stuff.
semi-competent, like,
Yeah.
unlike other AIs that exist in games. Like, they were actually capable of defending themselves. Like, you knew if you left them with a few guns or, you know, some at least half decent melee weapons, they were gonna defend it, like, to the best of their ability.
Yeah, exactly. Or die trying.
Rather than, you know, like, oh, there's like 10 zombies in front of me, but I'd rather just stare at a wall and do fuck all until they've hit me 2 or 3 times.
Well, you can definitely expect like inspect. Expect
We
better.
can inspect.
Like, better AI, and I think there's going to be more AI. There's going to be like more humans to basically manage. I think like you have to build your base up, and there's something that like I'm guessing they're going to change over to as well is they might have real-time base building, like being able to put stuff down in real time now because of the multiplayer side. Like, before, you sort of went to a separate sort of screen, didn't you? And then you had to like choose base, like toilet area, fooding, preparation area, you know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had allotted areas
Yeah.
within your base. Like, you could only build so many.
You could only put them on
rooms,
certain.
and you had to dedicate
Yeah,
what resource was going to take priority in what section of your base. Yeah.
So I think like in the new game you might have like real time defenses, like literally put a fence up, you know, put spikes down, you know.
Oh, you mean like sort of like anywhere placement sort of
yeah,
thing? Like
defenses
just
maybe.
drop prefabs onto the map wherever you think
Yeah.
they'll be suited best. That would be nice.
Another thing is like I hope you get the option to like, you know, be part of your own community, or actually join a friend's community, because that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Like, to be honest, I don't think it'd be. I don't think they'll overcomplicate it that much. I think that if they probably would just stick to you run your base, but you go and visit your friends and do help them
Yeah,
go out and
I
gather
just love the
resources for
sound of it
their
all.
base,
Like,
or you can choose to be a bit of a dick and bring those resources back for yours.
yeah, yeah. Like, say
Like,
you
I
could be
don't. I
in an
don't think
area
they'll
where
go too
farming
far.
is quite a thing, and I could be in an area where more city gun area, and then there could be reasons to like swapping. Like, I could provide you ammo while you provide me food. Sort of like the Walking Dead universe with their communities.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, and that it would put a bit more emphasis then as well on co-op play rather
Yeah.
than just where the AI could just you might as well have another player as an AI basically.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah, like
use a
that's all
reason for
they're
co-op.
good for. Like give them a bit
Yeah, I
more
see.
reason.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing they've announced is there will be human enemies this time, which is.
I am getting fucked.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Seems like quite a bastard hard map, really.
Yeah, I'm on my own though. To be fair, like trying to fend off
right,
about 50 fucking bad guys.
So yeah, this time around there will be human enemies. There's even like apparently procedurally, well, not procedurally generated, but like sort of like options to sort of go against people or make friends with them, sort of like Fallout style. Like actually have the options to. They have actually announced this as well. They've said to that you will have different outcomes, different things going on. You will have choices to determine how things turn out, really.
Right.
So
That's pretty.
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I'm just fucking super excited for State of Decay 2. But
Yeah. Same.
like the 4-player co-op just sounds fucking like adding that to the first game. Just like it's just like dream come true shit.
Yeah, I just hope they sort of address some of the issues, like that we've kind of like indirectly, just the roaming, the zombies like coming out of nowhere and just completely ruining the experience.
Just spawning in front of you. I did find that actually. It's mostly on the DLC. It wasn't really like
more
a
on
main
the DLC
story
than the main game.
Yeah.
They'd always spawn on the top of that fucking bridge as they come down, and
yeah, like when you're on the like highway bridge, you'd just be like getting the bag and you just see them spawning around you. And you'd be like, "Fuck's sake, really?" Like at least show them coming out of cars or coming out of tunnels or something. Don't fucking just like go whoop pop. There's another.
Yeah,
one.
just like pop in enemies is. They need to do a lot, I think, really, with State of Decay, like to stop all that crap from happening.
Yeah, well, like I said, newer, better engine now, so.
Yeah, so with any luck, I mean that's pretty much addressed. So.
In my eyes, I don't really see it coming out next year. Like even though they've said to, Microsoft have gone, oh yeah, next year, 2017. Like I don't know, I just don't see it happening. Because I feel like if they want the game they want, like we've been speaking about, like it's gonna put a lot of fucking time and effort into that.
And I think they were doing other little games in between that time, so I don't.
Bollocks.
Yeah, exactly. So I think really they've probably only been in pre-production. I mean, at the very most. Jeez, I'm overwhelmed again. Yeah. It's like just started.
I'm just shooting this tunnel where the spider creature's coming out. Oh wow! Got a fucking chainsaw guy coming out. So yeah, that's State of Decay 2. What's the next one? So let's talk about, well, let's say Days Gone. Have you seen the trailer
Days
for
Gone,
that?
I know absolutely fuck all about.
Yeah, you're on your own there, Chris.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, they've only shown 2 trailers, like a little trailer about the open road and fucking open world and stuff, and they've shown like the gameplay trailer, which I don't know if you've even seen that, Dan.
No, I've like I said, I've not seen Days Gone. It's probably not worth discussing, to be
No.
honest.
So next, right, Overkills, Walking Dead. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, both of us
That's
not
just
the
a
biggest
big
fan
heap
of.
of speculation.
Yeah, exactly. So both
Like-
of us a bit in limbo about it because both of us we started off fans of Payday 2, but I think as the
they
game
continually updated the game and took out all of the fun, and
took out all the fun.
and now it's a big
ruined
pile
it.
of fucking scrotum.
Yeah, well at least they updated the game, eh, Dan? Hey.
Yeah, they continue to support the game, and now if you want to play Payday 2, it's going to cost you about 200 fucking quid just to play all
Really?
the content. So,
Jesus.
well, no, okay, not literally. It's just, I think it's
Well,
about
tenner.
£113 for the DLC alone,
Wow.
on top of what is like a £44
Really?
or £45 game. So you're looking at about £150 to £160 game. So if they're, is it Starbreeze? Is it Starbreeze Entertainment who developed Payday 2?
Overkill, isn't it?
Oh, Overkill, yeah, sorry, it might have been Starbreeze as publishers. Anyway, point is that those developers that I've forgotten the name of again, like in a short span of time, because I've got no memory capacity whatsoever. If they're the ones developing the game, we can safely assume that Walking Dead is going to be supported for a long time. However, the game is ultimately probably going to cost you about 150.
Yeah,
odd
and they will
smack.
milk it and the franchise.
Oh yeah, you
for
know
death.
they will, especially with the TV
Get the,
series
Negan
ending
baseball
relatively
bat
soon,
to
within the
start
next
with.
season or two anyway.
Get the Negan baseball bat to start with. Only
Yeah.
additional $30.
Daryl Dixon, downloadable character,
Yeah.
only £10.
Yeah, extra. But yeah, so they haven't really mentioned a lot about it. All they've said is 4-player co-op, sort of open world elements to it. It's been very fucking vague. The trailer was quite disturbing, actually. I don't know if you saw the trailer. There's a little girl like screaming and then getting eaten.
I have not seen that trailer. That sounds amazing.
So basically, like, you just see a shadow of a girl out a window, and she's like, "Let me in," and then there's a guy, like, it sounds like a guy's inside the house, and she's just going, "Let me in," and then you hear the zombies coming, and then she's like screaming, and a proper blood curdling fucking scream as she gets eaten, and then it sort of like just shows, you know, Overkill's Walking Dead symbol. They pretty much shown that. The other thing they showed was fucking VR, like bollocks, where
Because VR's got to be built into every fucking game now.
I know, like, so they had like this VR bollocks with which looked terrible, by the way. Like, graphically looked fucking offensive to the eyes.
I'm not surprised.
Like, where you were in a hospital and you were strapped to a chair, and then you're on rails, fucking basically shooting zombies
It wasn't
out.
that the Resident Evil 7 demo.
Oh yeah, similar. Saying that, does sound a lot like it. But
Let's
yeah, you
just
escape,
nip
like,
everything good.
basically just escape this hospital VR. But there's nothing like exciting at the moment. Like, oh, then they also showed like a live action trailer. So the game is actually based on the comic books in the comic book universe, not the TV series universe.
So that means more in line with Telltale's Walking Dead?
No.
Or are Telltale's completely... They are their
See,
own
there's-
thing, aren't they?
Yeah, Telltale has their own stories and set in the universe, but like.
Yeah, but their own characters, their own plot lines.
Yeah,
and all that.
Telltale's
Yeah.
also set in the comic book universe and not the TV shows.
Oh, right. So you reckon they might mix, maybe?
No, I think they've already stated, like Robert Kirkman has said, they will be in the comic book universe, and Washington in the TV series is like set where they are now, really, with the whole different communities and that's all around Washington area.
Right.
So, so I'm guessing you're gonna have your own community and that, be part of that, and then go out on missions, sort of Payday 2 style. But they haven't really.
Yeah, I don't imagine it's going to deviate too far from their formula of what's
No.
already been a success. That's what worries me with the Walking Dead game, which is partially why I think it's going to be shit.
I don't
when
know
it's
why
released.
fucking, if you wanted to, like Robert Kirkman, if you wanted to fucking use a company for the game, like why he would fucking go to them, like of all the fucking developers out there. Like I don't know why he didn't. Like
it kind of shows where the priorities are. I'm gonna be honest, like, and say that, you know, in terms of sales and shit like that, and continual sort of air quote support for the game, like in terms of DLC, then he's probably chosen the right one if money is his priority and the actual license of Walking Dead and the game is only a fucking, you know, a second-rate thing. That's where I see it. Like, I see it all as upfront business, money first, like a good game later.
he did say he's a fan of Payday 2, which I don't know how.
Yeah, he probably is, because they're probably sitting on top of a giant fucking like pile of money, like laughing.
Cash piles.
Like, I think that's what, like, Walking Dead will start as a really good game, and then as the game's life goes on, sort of thing, you'll see it being sort of drip fed more and more DLC, but none of it will be for free. It'll be like £3 or £4 DLC at a time for a set of characters. No, yeah, but that's it, isn't it? People won't go mental in a bad way. They'll be like, oh, yeah, it's really good, yeah.
That's really good. Pay for it.
You know, like, and you'll get the same crowd. You'll get the Payday crowd in that game because obviously, you know, they love Payday, and it's Payday developers doing Walking Dead. Walking Dead and Payday, people love that shit, so they'll eat it up.
They'll eat it up like a taste of
You know, they'll eat it straight up out their anus.
Yeah, they've not.
And I honestly, like, I see that. I see it happening.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think they will fucking. Let's hope not.
It'll be a good game on release, and then it will be a cash cow later on. That'll be designed purely to steal money.
I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping they actually change the fucking format. If they just do.
They won't, because they don't know how to do anything else.
Well, it's the only game they've made, isn't it?
No, they did. Well, well, yeah, it's the only franchise they've done. They did the original Payday as well.
Oh yeah.
Or some of those devs did. But that's all they've done, and that's all they know how to do. I mean, so far, all they've proven to be is a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
So,
I'm hoping they actually.
And do I have a high expectations of like the next Walking Dead game? No, not really. It's just going to be Payday with zombies.
Yeah. And that's everything.
I mean,
I don't
thinking
want
about
it to be, really.
Yeah, and thinking about it, I mean, the formula of Payday does work alongside their planned Walking Dead game. Like, you can see it.
Yeah.
Like, rather than bags of money, it's going to be bags of food or supplies that you put into a truck. Like, not zombie guards walking about, but you would have zombie sentries walking about, like some small open world area, and all four of your, you know, characters, who definitely aren't going to be bank robbers, will be carrying around bags of food, which will amount to, like, a value or something.
Oh, you're actually selling the game to me right now.
Really?
It actually sounds really good.
I'm talking I'm talking down to it, because I can see this is what it's gonna be.
I like the sound of it.
Oh no!
Yeah, Chris, now you're one of the sperm monkeys that are feeding into it.
Oh, shoot myself now. Oh.
It sounds. I don't know. I think it sounds awesome, actually. Like the way you described that. I think you've sold
But that
me
is
in.
what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's what it's gonna be. But that's my problem. It's a one-trick fucking pony show.
One-trick
like,
fucking
that is
pony
exactly
show.
what they're gonna do.
It's a goddamn one-trick pony show, Chris. Yeah. But like, yeah, it depends how they pull it off. If they turn it into fucking Left 4 Dead, like, I'll just like.
No, it's not going to be Left 4 Dead. It's going to be Payday 2, because that's what they do. That's what they know how to do. So.
Well, if they do something new with it, and, you know, something a bit more interesting than just Payday 2, you know, I do like the sound of, like, do you know what, being, you know, when you get, like, when you fuck up basically, and then you have all the police come down on you. Well, I like the sound of that, but in a zombie way, like. You fuck up.
Yeah,
basically,
basically, rather than bank alarms going off, what it's going to be is like
all guys like bandits coming at you. You know, in waves and stuff.
Yeah, and that's what it will be. So you'll be trying to defend
I mean,
like,
it's
you
their
trust
job to make the fucking
Oh,
scenarios
blah, blah,
interesting,
blah.
though, isn't it? And not fucking repetitive. And to make it change up
Well,
enough
that's
to...
the problem with Payday 2, is once it devolved into that situation, it became very fucking monotonous and just like a sort of shooting gallery game
Yeah.
sort of thing.
A lot like this game, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know, that's why we're playing it, talking about zombie games, you know. Because, yeah, I can see it being a lot like every other game, you know, like The Walking Dead. I don't see it being good, but then I very much despise Payday. I used to love Payday, then they
Yeah.
pretty much
I think we
like
both
where the
started
stealth
out there.
element was taken away from the game,
Yeah, oh
and
really?
it just became this arbitrary run and gun, you know, action game.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
You know, and yeah, and it was total crap, because the game used to be really good. You know, like when you successfully pulled off a mission in stealth, you felt, you know, like you accomplished something, and I could feel that same sense in the Walking Dead game. But when they took it away and it devolved into like I said, just this run and gun game, it was just boring.
It's funny because you
like I say, it was just
the
fucking
mobile
turkey.
game is very similar, you know. Like you can actually do it stealthy, but if you start using guns, zombies do actually spawn in, and they keep getting harder and harder as well when you do start using guns and actually alert everything. So you can actually do missions stealthy on the mobile. The mobile game is very like XCOM, so. But like you say, like if you do fuck up and start alerting, making a lot of noise and stuff, you do get constant waves coming at you.
Yeah, so I think we've actually just pretty much nailed the Walking Dead game, like right there.
Yeah, which I mean sounds interesting to me, but it depends on how they pull it off. Like if you,
it does, but then all I'm thinking about is paid DLC. That's all that's running through my mind. It's
all
like
fucking
it's just
games have paid DLC though these days. Like they fucking do, don't they?
Yeah, but not quite to the degree that
Payday does. No.
Yeah, that Payday does. Payday really the piss and piles on the DLC. You know, like, oh, you want like 1 or 2 weapons? Well, you can pay us £4 for each one. You know, sort of thing. And it's like shit like that. Like, oh, you want a new character? Well, that's £7.
So, yeah.
And it'll just
it will be like
The
that.
Walking Dead is a license. It is a brand. It is a very character heavy, very character rich sort of, you know, universe, and you can fucking see from a mile away the iceberg that's ready to hit us.
Yeah, you know what? You're totally fucking.
The iceberg that is made entirely.
The fuck
of
I upgraded
downloadable
and it just like
content.
gave me a piece of shit fucking like sniper bollocks. Oh, it's him again.
Oh, Hans Furtag.
So yeah, that was our chat on zombies. So hope you enjoyed, guys.
Join us next time for more ramblings of, like, you know, like bollocks for like 2 or 3 hours. We'll waste your time.
Yeah.